President-elect Joe Biden will soon become the 46th president of the United States.
But President Trump says the fight for the White House isn't over yet. He promises legal action.
Joining us right now to offer some legal insight is Associate Dean at Western Michigan University Cooley Law School, Tracy Brame. Good morning, Tracy. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
We are doing well. So, Tracy, what grounds does President Trump have to stand on right now in terms of legal proceedings? What do you see in the coming months?
Well, according to what's played out so far, not many legal grounds. So, President Trump signaled this strategy even before the election, right? Signaled an unwillingness to accept a result other than victory for him without fighting it through the courts or whatever means he had. And he's in fact made good on that promise. And so he has suits pending in several states, but he has two hurdles. One is the failure so far to state a valid legal claim. And the second is whether, even if successful, those legal claims would affect enough votes to make a difference in the result.
And Tracy, when is the last time an election, a presidential election like this, had any legal issues or concerns over the security of the election?
Of course, we all remember 20 years ago, the election going all the way up to the Supreme Court, Bush versus Gore, but regarding the security of the election, alleging mass fraud, not that I can recall. I can't recall, another instance in which, the presumably outgoing president has alleged the total invalidity of the election based on fraud claims that just have yet to be proven.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are wondering right now, Tracy, when do you think President Trump is going to concede, and what do you think this is going to cost him?
That is the $64,000 question right now. I would hope that if the results stand as they are, that he would eventually concede. And, as you know, concession is a tradition and a very noble thing to do, that many would say, but it's not a necessary part of the process. So, if he doesn't concede by January 20th, that other measures would have to be taken to affect the transfer of power. I would hope, of course, that it wouldn't come to that. I imagine that there are those in President Trump's circle that are urging him to consider his legacy and consider how he wants to be remembered, and which is, of course, already controversial, and kind of how he wants to leave office. But we'll see. It looks like, again, the lawsuits so far aren't really going anywhere. So maybe eventually they'll peter out, and he'll find a way to leave on his terms. But that remains to be seen.
And when that does happen, Tracy, what issues do you think the president-elect will tackle first?
So certainly the pandemic, right? That has to be kind of at the top of his list. That was one of the most controversial issues kind of coming into the election, how the current administration has handled that issue. And we are going into the winter seeing the virus kind of rage through our states. And so I believe President Biden will first, and he talked about trying to assemble a team right away to try to come to some coherent strategy to address that. So that'll probably be top of his list. And then he'll probably, kind of attack some of these edicts that the current administration made through executive order that, affected everything from our, standing in international treaties to, to our own internal policies about civil rights. So it'll be interesting.
There's going to be so much to watch in the coming months. That's Tracy Brame with Western Michigan University Cooley Law School. Thank you so much for joining us. A lot of insight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So, Senator